We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the Soto district of Seattle. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at two different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
Now Hurts, he's going to do it himself. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Ask any pass rusher, and they'll tell you any quarterback who lines up every time and goes straight back in the pocket, that's who they want. But when they have to deal with a Jalen Hurts who may come at them from any angle and can get outside of the pocket and run, that's a nightmare for anybody who has to rush the quarterback. And I love Jalen Hurts' athletic ability. Almost a 4'6" runner. This guy can get outside the pocket and make plays with his legs as well as his arm.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down at 7. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll take this down to the 33.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
from the 33. Here's 2nd down and 8. Hurts. Out route, and it's complete to Brown. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that and continuing to let him throw the football. Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. Throwing is Hurts. He'll try and do this himself. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
That's another Eagles first down. 1st and goal, Philadelphia.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
And he'll score! Touchdown, Eagles! Jalen Hurts, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Solid finish to the opening drive. And look, when you get down around the goal line, you have to account for his legs. We saw it right there.
Yeah, that's the added dimension to the offense, isn't it? Remember what the offensive line coach told us earlier this week? I told my guys, he's going to run it. We have to make sure he stays protected and give him an opportunity.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-zip.
Makes the score Eagles.
So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Seahawks now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise, and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Over the middle, finding Smith and Jigba. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
A gain of 9
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him in no game.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. So their defense gave up the opening drive touchdown, and now, Charles, they're going to look to work this ball down the field and get the equalizer.
Yeah, there's got to be a little bit of balance in how you're thinking and how you're approaching this game, because the way things go in the NFL today, that opening touchdown often changes your strategy. You feel like you have to match everything right here, right now. But I like the way they were being methodical on offense here in their first drive, hoping to get the equalizer, but not forcing anything.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And they'll play keep away from the returner, as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. And they'll begin by running the option. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Here's Hurts to throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller, because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And a pretty athletic run right there, as he's going to get this down inside the 40. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
First down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Well, it's kind of fitting. A couple days ago when we met with him, I said, what is it about your running game that's so effective? He said, I like to tag myself as elusive. He was pretty elusive right there.
And his teammates appreciate that, because they know they don't have to hold their blocks for very long. As one of them told us, if I just breathe some bad breath on the guy in front of me, that's all I need to do, and he's gone.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Here's Darnold. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Darnold from the gun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Off of play action, Darnold gets this complete to Shaheed. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the Eagles' 29-yard line.
From the gun, it's Walker. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in under
pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Darnold. This is caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jackson Smith-Njigba, 26 yards. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from evening this one up. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was capped off by a Jackson Smith-Njigba touchdown catch. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Eagles offense and running back Saquon Barkley ready to get going again. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll make it 2nd down. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
From the gun, it's Hurts. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play that time on the catch and run. 35 yards.
1st down. It's a gain of 35. 1st down, Philadelphia.
On 3rd down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the 1st down. But in this case, he turned it into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Barkley, inside handoff. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
Completing this one quickly. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
No gain on the play.
He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
Jalen Hurts with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles have taken the lead.
Yeah, this is pretty similar to the Wildcat plays that were bouncing around the league circa 2008 or so. The idea here, just snap it right to the guy you want to run with it. In theory, you're getting yourself an extra blocker. And here, that Wildcat runner is your quarterback. And he takes it into the end zone.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
The score, Eagles 14.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards.
Jake Elliott to kick
Now
off
after
for
the touchdown,
Philadelphia.
here's Elliott on to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Jackson Smith and Jigba and his offense ready to go once more here. He's been good so far to this point in the 2nd quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
We'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the 2nd quarter.
Brings up 2nd.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
A quick throw caught by Cup out wide. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Call that a gain of 38. A big march forward on the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Let's just call it as we just saw it right there, a breakdown defensively. Seems like no one went with the tight end, and no one really did. Had all sorts of space in the middle of the field. Yeah, everyone else was covered, but he was not. Big play results.
Back to throw, Darnold. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Walker with it. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
Now it's Darnold. And that is incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright. And this will stay at a 7-point game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Quick slant, Dotson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Eagles, 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the 1st half. Here now, 2nd and 4. Hurts. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 22-yard line.
Second down and 6 now. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing is Hurts. Now he'll tuck this and run. A little juke. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From 28 yards out. The kick by Elliott is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the 3rd quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the 3rd quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try and slow things down a little bit.
Now Darnold. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
19 yards. And the Seahawks first down. 1st and 10 at the 44.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Darnold. He completes this to Walker. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Here's Darnold. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, if they have any designs on getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at the 20. To Barkley on the check down. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback, you've got to make that throw, right? That's got to be completed.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
Here's Hurts to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. Returnable here from the 38. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
At the 50-yard line.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. As Shaheed going to go in motion. Faking the give, Darnold. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Darnold now to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
So from the 37, here's 2nd down and 2. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. Looking to throw. He'll try to pick it up himself. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the 1st down at a 21-yard gain.
1st down. A gain of 21 yards.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now, because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
Saquon Barkley running right. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And now a pause because we've got A.J. Brown dinged up on that last play, and they're going to have to get some medical attention to it. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know it's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Smith catches left side. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Eagles 1st down. A gain of 9 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts. Over the middle here to Brown. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
That's another Eagles 1st down. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Barkley trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. On the sneak, it's Hurts. And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
The sneak successful from a yard out. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Elliott on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Jalen Carter working his way back behind the line of scrimmage and dropping him for a loss.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
To throw is Darnold. They'll get this one to Cobb complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Darnold. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
It's 4th down.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. 4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Seahawks go for it, but can't convert. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Give them a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 31-yard line.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Another try for Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Nice completion, nice gain.
Great tackle.
Really good tackle. Kept him in bounds, kept things going. What do you do here?
That's the question. Let's see what they do.
A 19-yard attempt.
The kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Well, now how about this return? And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. A shotgun snap for Darnold.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Back to throw here. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And they stop him up short of the 1st down as they get him at about the 43. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 26-yard line.
2nd down and 4. And Shaheed going to go in motion. Darnold to throw again. Quick throw there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Darnold. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Back to throw, Darnold. This one goes underneath to Walker. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Jalen Carter getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. We've seen a bevy of those. This secondary, they've been pretty good, haven't they?
They certainly have. They've allowed the 1 touchdown through the air, and they're going to be upset about that later when they watch the game tape. But other than that, they've been absolutely rock solid.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he is going to lose yardage here. And tip your cap to DeMarcus Lawrence. Nice play defensively.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the 2nd half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.